Before you embark on your learning journey, it's a good idea to learn how you can navigate through the course interface and make the best use of the available features. When you access a module, you'll first view the landing page, which displays its title and the content structure. You can begin the module by clicking the Start Module button. This takes you to the first lesson. You can also view the content structure for each module in the left panel. Each module is divided into sections, and each section consists of lessons. You can also navigate to any lesson by clicking the lesson title in the menu. Note that you can go through the lessons in any order, and you can revisit them at any point. Keep in mind that to complete a lesson, you must scroll all the way down until you see the button that indicates the title of the next lesson. You can check your progress of the module at 2 levels. If you're looking for a specific topic, you can use the search feature. Videos are played using a custom smart player, which provides several features. The Captions button enables you to switch off or display the captions in one of the available languages. You can also customize the way captions are displayed by clicking on the caption settings. From here, you can increase or decrease the font size of the captions and even choose between different colors and transparency levels for the caption's text and background. If you prefer a faster or slower playback speed, you can change it in player settings. To navigate to other modules in the course, you click the Previous or Next buttons. You can also click the View Full Path button to view all of the modules available in the course. To complete a course, you must complete all of the modules that are marked Required. You're now ready to expand your learning horizons at UIPath Academy. Happy learning!
Hardworking Maria and Stefan are at that exciting and nerve-wracking stage in their life, buying a new home. Their biggest obstacle? The 42 days they can expect it to take to secure their loan, which could mean losing out on their dream home. It's no wonder it takes that long. Banks receive over 1 million mortgage applications a year, with different types of documents coming in from all different places. Processing them requires hundreds of steps, costs billions, and slows down their revenue cycle. What to do? We need to match Maria and Stefan with the right bank, one that can get them sorted in no time. Enter Superior AI Bank. They're doing things differently. How? Not only is the bank automating time-consuming tasks and critical processes using robots, but they're also adding AI so their robots can handle more complex processes. How exactly does AI help the bank automate more and provide them with a competitive advantage? By enhancing their automations with AI, the bank can unleash their robots to do more, including the ability to enter Maria and Stefan's income, credit and other personal information using document understanding so no one has to do it manually. Decipher and process those thrilling documents like title deeds, thanks to natural language processing. Accurately convert and interpret handwritten home inspection notes. Utilize machine learning to analyze and predict whether the couple is likely to default on the loan. Allow the loan officers to check over and validate the robot's work for regulatory compliance. And with computer vision, the bank's automations can interact with every interface they encounter across the mortgage lifecycle, including loan origination systems. All of that makes a speedier and more efficient mortgage process, which can only mean good news for Maria and Stefan and their dream home. And should they ever have an application question, an AI-enabled chatbot is on hand to assist at any time and can provide updates on their application status. Looks like they're on track. Getting started on the journey to practical AI was easy for the bank, thanks to the starter models from UiPath. And these models are constantly learning and improving. What's more, AI is helping the bank to better understand its processes using their digital footprints, uncovering a constant flywheel of new automation opportunities. The match turned out perfectly. Superior AI Bank is constantly becoming more efficient, improving the speed of their revenue cycle and delivering a stellar customer experience. And Maria and Stefan were able to close on their loan in record time, securing their dream home. All thanks to UiPath AI.
Hello! We are UiPath, and we do automation of work using digital robots. We call this Robotic Process Automation, or RPA. And where are you on your automation journey? Are you planning to scale RPA in your organization or implement it for the first time? Or are you here as an individual contributor wanting to learn more about robotic process automation? No matter where you are in your automation journey, let's have a conversation around implementing and scaling RPA and how the right solution can prevent the pitfalls and solve the most common challenges. For starters, you must know that the steps of an RPA implementation are not much different from any IT project. Simply put, an RPA solution needs to be properly planned, solidly built, reliably run, effectively managed, flexibly engaged with users, and accurately measured. Why is this important? Well, it's a domino effect. If any of these steps are not managed properly, then everything can fall apart. RPA means change, and change that is not well handled can be met with resistance. We believe that at the core of managing change, there are three main ingredients: democratizing RPA and putting employees in the driver's seat more often, making each step of the change more effective and data-driven, flexibly accommodating the real business scenarios, as they are unique, complex, and, well, not perfect. Let's see how each of these are addressed in the end-to-end automation lifecycle and how the UiPath Enterprise RPA platform makes all of this easier. Planning. This is about defining governance and using data to pick the right processes for automation. When it comes to selecting the right processes, the UiPath Explorer can be used for process discovery, and UiPath Process Gold can be used for process mining. Process discovery starts with automatic data gathering from the people that carry out the process and uses AI to build process maps to help in deciding what to automate. Completing the picture from Explorer that relies on recording user actions, Process Gold brings in more data to be used in the decision process by monitoring existing back-end solutions. And if this sounds scientific, it's because it is. We mentioned democratization, and we also believe in human-led process discovery. With UiPath Connect Enterprise, companies can crowdsource automation ideas from employees and ensure transparency of the automation pipeline and progress of each item. As the company's centralized automation hub, Connect Enterprise can also support the decision process, store project documentation, and workflow components. Once a process has been selected for automation, either from scientific analysis or employee crowdsourcing, subject matter experts can use Explorer Expert to document the as-is steps of the process in a visual manner, to be used in the other stages of the implementation. The processes have been selected for automation. The governance plan has been settled. It's time to move on to the building stage of our RPA implementation. We believe strong building capabilities sit at the core of any automation solution. Our powerful, user-friendly automation canvas caters to both business users and professional RPA developers. We would need several hours to tell you about all of the cool features and capabilities of UiPath Studio, our tool for professional RPA developers. In this video, let's just focus on its graphic user interface with the universal search function, on the integrations with the developer tools that enable both individual productivity and teamwork, and on its powerful debugging capabilities that help move projects quickly through testing and into production. Scaling RPA means empowering employees and promoting a bottom-up approach. And the reality is that any employee would love having their own robot too, if they knew what they could automate and if they were given the tools to do it. This is what we had in mind when we developed Studio X. With this, task automation becomes easily accessible to business users. The tool doesn't require any coding background, and users can build automations for the business applications that they use most, like Excel and Outlook. Once an automation is built, it's time to run and manage it. Running automations is done through robots. Think of them as your digital workers that carry out the automation tasks. UiPath robots can run either attended on the same computers as human users or unattended on their own separate machines. If they run on the same machines, you want them to take over some of the human tasks in real time, acting upon predefined events. For example, an attended robot could bring relevant data from all the applications used or fill in some fields in a CRM application. On the other hand, each company has processes or sub-processes that can be automated entirely. These are perfect candidates for unattended automation, where you want your robots to be autonomous and work continuously. Implementing and scaling RPA at an enterprise level means the robot workforce needs to be managed just like a human workforce. And flexible provisioning, permanent availability, security, easy credential management, and real-time monitoring of SLAs. Indicators are crucial when we talk about large-scale deployments. In the UiPath platform, Orchestrator is in charge of robot management and delivers all the capabilities mentioned earlier: queues with triggers and SLAs, integration with different solutions, such as Active Directory for credential management, and a high availability add-on for mission-critical implementations. It can be accessed in the UiPath Cloud Platform, used in a public cloud provider like AWS, or deployed as an on-premises solution. True RPA is not only about simple processes, it is also about company-wide complex processes in which humans need to analyze exceptions, escalate, validate, or approve the work of robots. All these while the robots continue their work. And RPA platforms need to keep up and enable a true engagement between human users, robots, and other applications. With UiPath apps, end-to-end business processes can be automated through seamless human-robot collaboration. Robots create tasks whenever human intervention is required and move on to the next job so that their usage is optimized. Human workers can easily access their tasks in either a simple web application or through the Orchestrator mobile app for maximum productivity on the go. With the right automation opportunities explored, a healthy pipeline of automation projects in Connect Enterprise, and a solidly built and flexible automation solution that is run by robots and managed in Orchestrator, the job seems done, right? Well, not quite. The automation journey still has some things to offer. Improving accuracy and speed, quantifying and communicating the value of automation to scale RPA come next. The RPA Operations team will want to measure the success rate of automation and to dig into details like processing speed, volume, and health indicators. Then, business leaders and process owners will want to deep dive into individual processes and assess metrics like transaction volumes, performance against SLAs, money saved, and the overall ROI of the investments. This is where UiPath Insights comes into play. It measures and reports results, reports on those results, and aligns RPA operations with business outcomes. Then it uses AI to aggregate all of the data via out-of-the-box or customized dashboards, such as reports on money saved, time saved, and ROI-based success metrics. Leaders across the organization and operations teams can look at data to understand how well the automated processes are working, how bottlenecks can be removed, and how inefficiencies can be addressed. It can be accessed directly from Orchestrator, a single platform for everything you need. Let's put all of the pieces back together. The UiPath Enterprise RPA platform covers all of the stages of an RPA implementation. Planning through Connect Enterprise and the Explorer suite. Building through UiPath Studio and Studio X. Running using the UiPath robots. Managing the automations via Orchestrator. Engaging with human users via apps. And measuring results with UiPath Insights. In other words, we are offering the first end-to-end automation suite on the market. With this picture in mind, feel free to explore the in-depth courses on the Academy, covering the individual products and their use. Hello and welcome to the RPA Developer Production Ready Essentials training. In this video, we'll create our first project in UiPath Studio. We will develop a workflow that searches online for the current time in Bucharest, grabs the time and displays it in the outline panel. To do this, we'll create a new process, capture a few steps with the recorder, add activities, configure the activities, and use variables. We encourage you to follow along with this demo. Let's start by creating a new process in Studio. We'll enter Get Time in Bucharest in the Name input field, and then we'll add a description that makes the project easy to identify later. When creating a new blank process, you can also choose the location to save it and the programming language, VB.NET or C#. Let's click Create. Welcome to your first UiPath Studio project. Let's take a few moments to get used to the interface. On your left-hand side, you'll see the Activities panel. You can search for activities here and drop them in the Designer panel, located in the middle of the screen. Each activity corresponds to an action that is usually performed by a human user, like click or type into, or to the control flow logic of the project, like an if statement or a for each loop. The Designer panel is where you can create and modify the flow of your project. The Design menu is at the top of the screen. Here you can add sequences, flowcharts, and state machines to your project, install and manage activities packages, build interactions with UI elements, export workflows to Excel, and then publish your work to Orchestrator or custom feeds. The Execute menu lets you validate and run your workflow while using debugging tools to set breakpoints, monitor the execution of activities step by step, and adjust the debugging speed. Let's go back to the Design menu and start automating. We'll start by using the recorder to capture our actions on the screen. This tool offers 5 recording types designed to accommodate different environments like desktop, web, and virtual desktops. Keep in mind that using this tool will let you define a simple flow quickly, but the activities will always need editing. You can learn more about the recorder in the Recorder lesson in the Toolkit Learning Path. Since we're building a workflow on a browser, let's select the Web Recording type. The Recorder toolbar is displayed. Now it gives you access to actions particular to each environment. Here you can open a browser, interact with UI elements, get text or images, or start recording and capture your own actions. Let's make our workflow start with opening a browser and navigating to Google. To do that, we'll click the Open Browser button and select Already Open Internet Explorer. Click OK to set the start URL to the current address. Now, let's record searching for the current time in Bucharest. Let's click Record. We'll select the search field and enter the search string. Let's select the Empty Field checkbox. Now this handy setting makes sure that everything is deleted inside the target field before entering the string. Next, we'll click the Google Search button. We get a notification about the reliability of the selector, but it's stable enough for our example. We can see that the current time is displayed. Great! Now we need to get this value. Let's press Escape to return to the Recorder toolbar. We'll click Copy Text and select the current time. OK, we're done here. Let's click Save and Exit to return to Studio. Our recording session has generated a sequence of activities in the Designer panel. This is one of the ways activities can be laid out in Studio. You'll learn more about flowcharts, state machines, and the global exception handler in the following lessons. Let's have a look. We have an open browser activity that launches Internet Explorer and navigates to Google. This activity holds the rest of our workflow in its Do container. This means that all the activities within it will use the browser as a target application. Within the container, we have 3 activities. A type into activity that enters the string in the search field. B, a click activity that clicks the Google search button. C, and a get text activity that grabs the result of the search and saves it to a variable. You'll learn more about entering input and getting output from interfaces in the UI interactions lesson. It's good practice to always give descriptive names to our activities and add annotations. As your workflows will become more and more complex, this good habit will save you and your colleagues many hours. Great! We've mentioned earlier that workflows created with the recorder require quite a bit of editing. Let's click the Get Text activity. To the right-hand side, you'll find the Properties panel. This is a contextual panel that enables you to view and change the properties of a selected activity. Notice that the output property is set to div. This means that the grabbed text is stored in a variable called div. Let's give the variable a more descriptive name. To do this, let's open the Variables panel. This panel enables you to create variables and make changes to them. Let's rename it Time in Bucharest. Renaming a variable in this panel automatically updates all occurrences in the current file. You'll learn more about variables in the next lesson: variables, data types, and control flow. Next, you may be wondering, how does the robot know what text to grab? For that, it uses selectors. Selectors act like addresses for UI elements. Let's view the selector for the Get Text activity. Now it looks like we have a problem here. The AA name attribute is set to 21:22. This means that the robot will only identify the text it needs if it is precisely 21:22. We need to make this selector a bit more generic so that the robot will be able to get any time, but specific enough so that it doesn't grab anything else. Selectors obtained with the recorder will often need to be fine-tuned. Now we'll use wildcards and question marks for this. And it's validated. Great! You'll learn more about this topic in the selectors lesson in this module. Next, we want to display the message "the current time in Bucharest is," along with the grabbed text. Let's use a write-line activity to print the string in the Output panel and drop it in the Designer panel. OK. To display the string and the value of the time in Bucharest variable, we'll use string concatenation. Let's write the string between brackets. Type in plus and add the name of our variable. You'll learn more about string concatenation in the data manipulation lesson. Let's not forget to rename the activity. And last but not least, we'll add a close application activity. Now it's a good case practice to close our applications at the end of our workflows. As we've placed this activity inside the do container of the open browser activity, by default it will close the correct browser, but we want to demonstrate how you can indicate an element for an activity. Simply click Indicate Element on screen and click the application, and that's it. OK, we're done with our workflow. Let's press Run and test it. So far, so good. Let's open the Output panel. This is where the output of the log message or write-line activities is displayed, along with exceptions for packages and other important messages. Great, it worked. Before we conclude this demo, there's one more important thing that we want to note about working with activities in UiPath Studio. If you don't find the activities that you're looking for, you can search for packages in the feeds included in the Package Manager. Let's say that we need a set of activities to help us automate processes that use the Google Suite. Let's open the Package Manager. On the left-hand side, you'll find a list of feeds. For example, the official online UiPath feed, where you can find the activity packages that are officially supported by UiPath. The Go Public feed contains all the activities published on the UiPath Go Marketplace by our ever-growing community of partners, freelancers, and UiPath RPA developers. Please note that in the Package Information tab, it is specifically stated if the packages are built and officially supported by UiPath. In the center, you can see the list of available packages. Let's search for the G Suite package. And here it is. Let's click Install, then Save, and we're done. To see the new activities, we'll run a search in the Activities panel, and here they are. This concludes our introduction video to creating workflows with UiPath Studio. Thank you for watching. Happy automation!